Welcome back to another episode of the We Love Gaming podcast. This is episode 100, and I am your co-host, Godly Sovereign. And of course, today I have with me Sir Knight. What's good, my brother? How you doing tonight, man?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Just crunching at work, trying to get through this. I go on summer break. Cannot wait, dude. I cannot wait.
How many
Summer
weeks you got for
gray.
break?
2 months.
2 months? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's coming up, dude.
Yeah, dude. I'm like
So
definitely
it's
pumped for it,
not
man. You went
fast,
to the
man.
fair today? Did you pick like the best day to go to the fair? It was like overcast all day today.
Dude,
You got
man.
lucky, dude.
It
Nice and
just
cool
happened to be
weather.
like that, you know? The
Dang,
fam
dude.
the
Just
fam wanted to
perfection.
Yeah, man, the fam wanted to go over there. It was like raining. It was like slight drizzle today, over here in San Bernardino. And then, when we went over there, it was just really gloomy. But it just wasn't it wasn't raining yet. But it ended up raining when we were probably like there
Oh, it
for about
rained
like
on you a little
three.
bit, huh?
Yeah, like a sprinkle, you know what I mean? Like when we were there for about like 3 or 4 hours, something like that. So, it was okay though. But dude, I just ate a whole bunch of bullshit. You know what I mean?
All the
Like
fair food.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, all that fair shit.
You get
And
some deep
then
fried Oreos, man.
yeah. And
You
then
got to get the deep fried Oreos.
I didn't get any deep fried Oreos. We
Oh,
got
you
like
didn't get
some
any deep fried Oreos?
some donut thing. We got
Oh,
like I got
you got to
like
get something deep fried though.
I got bacon wrapped pickles that was like deep fried.
Oh,
We had
dang.
like deep
That's
fried.
pretty crazy.
Yeah, we
Bacon
had
wrap pickles. It sounds like you
deep
would love
fried
that. You love pickles.
deep I like bacon a lot more, but it was like one would do. They gave you four, so that's like reasonable because I'm guessing that's like a whole pickle and they just chopped it up into fours or whatever and just wrapped all them bitches in bacon. But it was a lot. You know what I mean? Like when you're eating it, you're just like, fuck my life, man. Like I gotta go to the gym with this. Like
You're so
I
dumb.
I can't do this much longer. You know what I mean? Like half is good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I did that. I got like some fried lobster.
You got to get like a pork
Um
chop, right?
I wanted to get the pork chop. The pork chop was
Those are
looking good,
yummy.
but
Yeah,
I
those are
ended up
good.
getting the three meat
Oh,
waffle fries or whatever. It was like
mm,
brisket. They threw some ribs on top of there and then some like pulled pork or something crazy. So I got to try that. Some bacon covered shrimp, bacon
mm-hmm.
wrap fried shrimp and shit.
Yep.
Funnel cake. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Funnel cake. Yeah.
Yeah, ice cream, whatever. So it was cool. We
Yeah,
just
that's
went
kind
out.
of similar to what my dad, my wife, and I, we went over to this. It was last weekend. So I guess this week, yeah. So like last weekend, we went over to a food truck festival,
Uh-huh.
and so you had like coupons and like you had to try like different food trucks out. It was pretty good, pretty
That
fun.
that would probably be really dope, man. Because you can find
Yeah, it
like
was
a
pretty
lot
fun.
of good food at food trucks, man.
Yeah, lots of cool food. Like there's some like nice shrimp. There's some like really good barbecue. Like yeah, all different sorts. Tacos, like all different sorts of things. It was fun. But by
Yeah.
the end of it, you're like pain from all the food you ate. So it starts off fun, and then it's like, oh man, now I'm in
What's
pain.
good?
We got to get
ETC?
out of here. It's
Yeah,
my
for
dad.
sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
making me
Yeah.
hungry. I know, right? Got to get that pork chop, man. That's what the best one of the best things
Yeah.
at the
I
fair is
wanted to
those
get
pork
it too, the
chops.
pork chop on a stick or
But
something
yeah,
like that. It
brisket's hard to
was
beat. Yeah, pork chop on a
damn.
stick. Those are fun. But
Yeah, for sure,
yeah,
man. But yeah, we had fun, man. Play a bunch of games, got a bunch of rides and stuff like that. It was cool. Just got a little chance to go out there, but it was starting to come down like a little bit more, and we was just like, all right, it was time to go. My back was killing me, you know what I mean, from being on my feet the whole time. I was like,
yeah,
man, if I had done Disney, I probably would have toughed it out a little bit more. But since it's the fair, we'll go ahead and get up out of here.
yeah. Was this the Orange County Fair? Which fair was this one?
This is the LA fair.
The LA County Fair. Yeah,
We're in Pomona.
yeah.
So yeah, but it was cool, man. But what games have you been playing this week?
Nothing. Same old legacy, dude. Man, I think I might be done, dude, with Horizon Forbidden West, bro.
Really?
I think I might be throwing it out, dude. Like it
Yeah.
is so boring at times, dude. Like super long talking cutscenes, and then like they give you like a conversation wheel that has like 10 different choices. Like I hate it so much. I just skip. I don't do any of them. And there's like no reason or no point in
Does it change your
limiting it.
world?
No,
Like,
it doesn't change your world.
okay.
It's just for you to talk more. And it's
Oh,
just
okay.
like, it's not like, where like it's impactful. Like, like in Fallout, every choice you made was like, you know, it wasn't
Yeah,
just
it
there to
was a
like click and
decision you were
listen.
making.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't like
Yeah.
just there to listen to more
Yeah,
talking.
that response may end up having that person attack you,
Exactly. Yeah,
or you
every
know what I mean,
response mattered.
destroy a city or
Like
something like that.
it
Yeah.
was part of the game. The response was like part of the game, like
Right.
making the
Right.
decision. This is just like, okay, you want more information? I just always click to like the one that continues the quest. And it's still long. It is so long. It is so long, drawn out conversations.
Uh-huh.
And then it takes a while to find something to kind of do. So it's just like driving me nuts, man. Like I'm like, you know what? I don't know, dude. I don't know if I have the patience. I feel like I'm done with this game. Like really close, just the old school method of just like taking it down to GameStop, trading it in, and like getting something else. Like let me try
Mm.
out Dying Light 2 or something. Like let me try out Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Let me get something else. Like this is killing me. It's so, but like I want to beat it because it's a PlayStation Plus exclusive. So it's like I want to
Yeah.
beat it and get the trophy.
Yeah,
You
that's a
know,
little disheartening, man. I hope you're just tainted by
it's just
Elden Ring
like
and it's not like anything else. Like
it could be,
if
man.
the
I could.
game is actually just boring like that and the story's not even interesting, then that would really suck because that's a really story-based game. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, the
that's a
story is
story-driven
not
game.
interesting. The story is not that interesting really at all.
Mm,
It's so boring. And the
dang.
dialogue is so boring. That I can say is boring.
You know
But the
what?
world's pretty. It's one of the best looking games I've ever played.
Yeah. That's kind of the problem that I could see happening with Horizon, because the way Zero Dawn ended and whatnot, I felt like, it was a pretty solid story and whatnot, and that if you were really continuing it, you were just kind of just continuing to continue it because it was like, oh
And
good,
that's
like
exactly what
it
this
didn't
feels like.
seem like it was like, oh, some like great, outstanding mystery, you know what I mean, that had to be solved later on. Like, oh, it's like way deeper than what it appears to be, you know what I mean? So
No, well, so far it's not. It's just basically a rehash of the first one. You're just chasing Silas again. Same exact storyline, dude. It's like the only way they basically make it continue is that you won. At the end of the first one, Zero Dawn, you won.
right.
But they add this whole other nuance to the story of, well, actually, the thing you probed, Hades with was actually a downloader for Silas. So he actually still has Hades and he ran away with Hades. So now you gotta chase him again. Just go continue on. It's just like, oh my gosh, man, like it's nothing different. And so like
They
you're
ran
in a
out of
mad
story.
dash. Yeah, you're like in a mad dash rush just to chase him. And then like, there's something else going on. Like Hades sent a signal out. So now like you have to collect all like the parts of it, Gaia's AI, to like nurse planet Earth back to health. So that's all
Yeah.
you're doing. You're just going down to the different AI locations to collect their AIs to put them together to make Gaia again. But it's just dull. It's a dull story.
Yeah.
Very dull. Like its best quality is the combat, which is it's very satisfying. It's very fun. Aiming, knocking off those parts. That's a lot of fun. But like
using the different gadgets and
it's
stuff.
just so it's so demanding of you to sit through all that mundane dialogue from quest to quest. I just Elden Ring is such a breath of fresh air. Like you don't have any of that nonsense, man. Like
Yeah.
everything you do in Elden Ring is doing something.
Yeah.
Like the quest line is like the dungeon, and the world is telling you the story without having to sit there and listen to dialogue, paragraphs of dialogue, right? Like it's just so much better. Yeah,
And
I
what's
mean,
nice
it
is
very
that if
well
you
could
start a
be.
conversation, you can just walk away. And the
Yeah,
conversation is
exactly. Nothing's holding you
you're not
there.
stuck there. Yeah.
It's if it's interesting enough, you'll stick or not, right? Like
Yeah.
I just
If you really
love
don't
it
want to hear
so
guys
much
jargon,
better.
you can just go ahead and walk away, dude. This is like bye. Like they'll
Yeah,
be
like
like,
I'm
oh,
wondering,
okay. See ya.
I don't know if you ever got this feeling, but like I get it quite a bit. Like after I read like a really darn good book, like when Will Wright comes out with a new novel, like whenever I'm done reading that, I'm always in like a little bit of like a book hangover. Like it's hard for me to get back into another book because his was so dang good and fun that I just want more of that. And so like I'm hunting for that experience again. And like it's
Yeah.
hard to get back into the
You
swing of
almost got to
things.
forget how good the other book
You
was
almost gotta
so you can
forget.
move on.
It's hard. You
Yeah.
gotta like work yourself into that mindset, and it takes time, man. And I feel like I have bad Elden Ring hangover right now, like where like games are just really hard
Yeah.
to for me to appreciate because Elden Ring was just so stinking good. It just hits all the notes so well, even with
Yeah.
its flaws. You don't care because it's so good. And I just think that's probably part of the problem for me with Horizon. Like it's just it's so clunky. To me, it's clunky. I know like there's more there and there's more work there. So like the developers, or whatever, would probably say like, I guess by clunky I mean bloated. Maybe that's a better word. Like busy, and like
Mm.
cluttered.
They needed to
Yeah, so I
simplify
would
stuff a
say,
little bit more.
yeah, it's just very, very cluttered and bloated. Like I would much rather there just be content really quick to get into and keep moving forward, like Elden Ring, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
can have quest lines, but gosh, man, like, do you have to? I'm telling you, man, it's like 10+ minutes for like the
Mm.
dialogue of quest listening to before you actually finally can. They give you back the reins, and you can like go run around and find that quest or whatever. And it's like, I just rather play Rogue Legacy 2. I'd rather just jump in and play
Yeah.
Rogue Legacy 2, man. Like, so that's kind of like where I'm at. We'll see if I
Mm.
find up the patience to deal with it some more. But like I said, I do want to beat it just because it's a PlayStation exclusive. I beat every one of them. And so I would
Right.
like to beat this one, but I'm just having a real hard time, man, like getting in the mindset. But
Yeah,
what
that's
have you been
tough.
playing, man? What you been doing?
Well, speaking of books, man, I kind of I had an issue with all right, so Kilcade, right? Um
Mm-hmm.
I decided to get that book Destiny of the Dead that had came out that he did.
Okay.
And
The brand
I
new
was
one or something like that?
yeah, dude, I was disappointed in that, man. I was
Yeah.
I was reading it, I was listening to it, and I was just not enthralled by it. You know what I mean? As opposed to like the other stuff that he's done, like it didn't feel like as entertaining. And I was just like, damn. And it was read by Nick Podell, which is
Mm-hmm.
like one of those guys that I really like. But
Yeah.
like it's not Reskin or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like I don't know. I just felt like
Well, yeah, Redskin was a masterpiece, man. Like those first two books are absolutely incredible books.
yeah, yeah. The Dark
But he
Tidings
dropped the ball on that one,
and
huh?
stuff. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it just didn't work out with that one for me. So I still got to
Well, was it
recommend that.
you or is it Daniel that sent me the message, or did I send you a message about how the fifth book or whatever? He's finally gonna release the fifth book in
You
King's
sent it
Dark
to me that it was
Tidings.
coming. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty
That's the one I
exciting.
was waiting for.
Yeah, we're all
And
waiting
then
for
I
that
was
one.
like, oh, well, you know what? I'll just listen to Destiny of the Dead. Maybe it has something to do with that world or something like that. Maybe it's like,
Right.
kind of like how your one guy did that one book that was in between Name of the Wind stories. The King Killers Chronicles. You remember that
Right.
that that third book that he did that was not the third book that
Yeah, it
we
was like a
needed?
novella or whatever, just like a little
Yeah,
short
yeah, yeah.
story. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You know how that one was. I thought it
Right.
was gonna be something like that, but this was like in a totally different world, like a totally different story. And I just wasn't really captivated by it. So it was a bit of a disappointment. Like I
Yeah, it
don't
was a
even want to
bummer.
finish it. You know what I mean? Type stuff. So
I know. I hate when that happens. I just actually finished Wheel of Time,
okay.
and that was a slog. Like I
Yeah.
would not recommend it to you, bro.
Who was the author on that one?
Robert Jordan, but then Brandon Sanderson finished it. So the last three
Oh,
books
okay.
Brandon Sanderson did, and so that was kind of like the motivation was I wanted to get the
Right, because
Brandon
it was Brandon
Sanderson books.
Sanderson. Yeah.
Yeah, and so those are good books, but it was still he kept it in the same kind of like slog way of the
Mm,
story was being told, and so I
yeah.
don't know. I'm not like the biggest fan of it. There's some cool things about it, absolutely.
Mm.
But I feel like they wait too long. That's like 14 books, dude. And they're like
Jeez.
30 hours each.
That's
So it's
longer than
like
Cradle.
it's committed. It's like committing a whole year of reading to like just that one series to like finish it. And
Mm,
I was only able to get to like book 7
that's pretty
before I was
far.
like, I cannot put up with this anymore. So
Yeah.
I just listened to deep summaries of like the next three, and then I went and read the last three. Then I
Was
read the
that Brandon
last three,
Sanderson touched?
the Brandon Sanderson books. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
was like, I just can't take this anymore. I cannot sit through another one of these books.
Mm.
So, and then the ending was pretty good though. I enjoyed it. It wasn't as good in my opinion. I'm like I don't know if anyone out there's a big book reader, and if I'm insulting you by saying this, but in my opinion, Mistborn is just on another level of cohesiveness.
Dude,
Like,
Miss Ward
cause
is an amazing book, man.
like did my buddy
I really like
Daniel, my brother-in-law, Daniel loves Wheel of Time. He's actually rereading all 14 books right now. That's how much he
Really?
likes Wheel of Time.
Mm,
And he was
okay.
telling me like, because I told him how much I love Mistborn. Like to me, it's like a master class of bringing everything together, in my opinion.
Uh-huh.
Like a lot of books can just have good endings, but the way that he incorporated like everything along the way, he left nothing unanswered. Like you understood the mist, you understood the earring, you understood the emperor, you understood everything, and it all came together for like this big like
Right.
crescendo. And it was just so incredible to me. Like in my opinion, I don't even know if he'll be able to do something that great with Stormlight, because I mean Mistborn was just so incredibly good.
Yeah.
Uh, that in my opinion, I just think Mistborn's better in all regard. In my opinion, in all regard,
Mm.
than Wheel of
Better than
Time.
Stormlight?
Um, well, Stormlight's not finished yet, so I kind of want to reserve my judgment until that's finished. But Stormlight's
Okay.
awesome too.
It is
But
a good book.
I was just really blown away. So with Mistborn, I love book one. I wasn't too happy with book two, but I thought book three was probably one of the best books ever written when it comes to like bringing the whole thing to a conclusion.
Right,
Like
right, right. And not leaving like
absolutely.
any cliffhangers or
Yeah, and it was
anything
just like, "Oh, dude,
unspecified.
that's there were so many of those things." Like, "Oh, dude, that's what the blue dude. Oh, dude, that's what the earring. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, that's what that is. That's
yeah,
how
yeah.
that happened. That's how that happened." Like you're just like it's all like coming together. It's just so, and it peaks perfectly at the very
Yeah.
end, and it
I
makes
told you.
perfect sense, man.
Didn't I tell you
So
about
good.
Mistborn? Didn't I tell you about Mistborn? Like to read that
I
thing?
think I was
Because I
telling
told you it
you
was like really
about it,
good.
but you read it before me.
Right,
You
right, right.
definitely read Mistborn before me.
Because I
But I
know
knew
you
about
told me about
Mistborn for
Stormlight
years.
Chronicles and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and I was like, "Oh well,
Yeah.
I read Mistborn, and that shit was fire. Like that was a good ass
Yeah.
book." Man.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It was like incredible book. So
but
I would just say read Mistborn again, in my opinion. But
yeah,
see, I don't even
I
think
think I might
Daniel's
try
read
to
Mistborn again.
listen to the Audible but version of it and see
Mm-hmm.
about it and stuff. But anyways, on to game topic. The stuff that I played, I did try out what was it, the West
Oh,
game?
Weird West.
Yeah, Weird West. I tried that out. I had that same feeling that you had where you just wanted to skip through conversation
Mm-hmm.
and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Once I was like, okay, everything you have to read. Why would I even ask any side questions? I'm just going to go straight to the point. You know, what
Exactly.
I don't want to read it.
Exactly.
Like you're not gonna
Exactly.
to tell it to me at all. I don't want to read it. It's okay. And
Exactly. Yeah.
so I was playing it. It was okay. It wasn't anything where like, it was like, oh, I want to keep on playing it or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'll fall off of it and and try something else or whatever. And if I come back around to it, cool. But if not, I didn't really feel like I was missing anything out of it or whatnot.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
Yeah. So
And wasn't the combat just half decent? It was a twin stick shooter that was just kind of fun. It wasn't
yeah,
bad, but it wasn't like extraordinary.
Yeah, I feel like it was a little bit weirder because you had to hold one trigger and then you had to actually shoot, your bullets and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, as opposed to just aiming the sticks, moving and then aiming the sticks in the direction you wanted to shoot at, having to actually like squeeze the trigger and shoot and stuff like that. It just felt like it was, I don't know, a little bit weird. And then your shots are never really like on point, so I'm like sitting there missing, as I'm trying to aim, my
Dude, I
shots.
ran out of bullets when I first fought those wolves because
The first one.
I didn't realize that I thought it was like, I don't know. I guess my first thought was like, oh, my first gun's going to be like infinite ammo
Infinite
kind of thing.
rounds.
So you can
Yeah,
just
yeah,
keep
yeah.
shooting. And I was kind of like playing around. Oh, that's how it aims. And I was like, just screwing around and I ran out of bullets and I was like, dude, how am I supposed to kill these wolves? And like I died. So I had to do that little room over again. Then I realized, oh, I got to be careful. I got a headshot and then I was fine. But it's like, I was like, that's a bummer, man. From the very get go, they give you just a few bullets and you have no realization that you need those to continue on. It's like, it was just strange.
Yeah,
Weird.
did you happen to search in that first area where your son was found dead and all that stuff with the dog dead and all that? Like, did you search on that map or you just went out?
Um,
After you dug up your shit, you just went out.
I did a little searching, not the whole thing, I don't think,
Okay.
though.
Cuz there's
Because
like
it was looking like the game, with the little searching I did, felt like there wasn't anything to find. So it
Mhm.
was feeling like a type of game that didn't care about hiding things in nooks and crannies. So I kind of like lost interest
Yeah.
um to do that.
Yeah, for the
So
most part, all they have in a lot of those things are like food items. There was like a shit ton of
yeah.
food that you could find there. So it seems like you would always have like some way to regen your health, which is cool in a sense or whatever. But on that first map, besides like the little food and stuff that you could find, there was actually a shooting range that was over there, and so you could shoot and test your
Mm.
shots and stuff. And
But you
then
need those
you
bullets,
had
bro.
but you also had a pile of bullets that you could
I see.
collect.
So you
So
could
then I was
reload.
like,
Okay.
"Oh shit, my inventory is finite." Like I,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
so you
I don't have
realized it
infinite.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
when I
know. See,
saw
I
that, I was like,
realized on
"Okay,
the
I have
next
to pay
map.
attention to what I'm doing." You know what I'm
See, but
saying?
that's
But
interesting because like you and I both had the first initial thought, right? That because I think that would be anyone's initial thought, like a twin stick
yeah,
shooter.
it's a twin stick
Because
shooter. You're gonna waste bullets.
all twin stick shooters, yeah, you're
Yeah,
not going to aim well, and so almost all of them make your bullets infinite. Like that's just a standard, mechanic
yeah,
in twin stick shooters. And so that was so weird to me when I learned, right, that like you had actual bullets you had to reload. It's like, wow,
yeah.
that's crazy.
So
But
I played that for a bit or whatever, and I got tired of that. And then I had my father-in-law, man. this guy finds like some of the weirdest shit out there and talks me into playing it. And so like I don't know if I was being like an obnoxious gamer that just wanted to like shit on the game like consistently,
a little
but like
snobbish, yeah.
I played 7 Days to Die on the Xbox. You ever heard of it?
Yes, I believe
Okay.
I have.
So yeah, it's been on like, it's kind of been it was up there as like the new ones that were just
Right,
added onto
right.
Game Pass and stuff. So I'm on there and I'm playing this game, dude. So check this out. He was playing it or whatever and he enjoyed it. He's like, "Hey man, you gotta download this game, you gotta play it with me." So I'm like, "All right, cool." So I download it and he chooses multiplayer. So this map generates
You're getting
and
wrecked.
I'm supposed to like play in this multiplayer map with him. And no, it's not like, oh, there's tons of people in there. It's like a private map. It's just me and him in there.
Uh-huh.
And so, okay, in a normal multiplayer game, right? Normally you would come in onto the map with each other, or at least be able to spot each other on the map
Right.
so that you can get together and enjoy the freaking multiplayer game together.
Right.
I did not see this man for an hour. I was trying to figure out where the hell he was. I was literally looking at this map and he had to give me latitude and longitude coordinates in order for me to find where he was at, dude. Insane. Like it didn't make any sense. So I get dropped in the map. I don't got shit on me. Like you literally got your bare hands. You got a backpack. You got like a torch and some things like that in the bag or whatever. A couple of rations, no weapon or anything like that, and you just go. So you're just running out there in this wilderness or whatnot, and you're just finding like little things like, oh, you can chop at this and hack that and pick that or whatever, gain you some stuff, get you an axe, different things like that, a regular survival game and whatnot. But then it's like you run up to a zombie, right? And so the zombie's attacking you. You're trying to attack the zombie. The zombie goes down, and you're like, oh, okay, I killed him. I'm done. So you turn around, and then next thing you know, the fucker gets back up, and then he comes back at you, and you're like, what the hell? Like, I downed you. Like, why are you still? Apparently, you have to go over them and submit, like, beat their brains in after the fact. Once you down them, you have to completely down them, or they're just gonna get back
Weird.
up. Blew my mind. Like, why do I have to do all of that for this? You know what I mean? So you die, you end up getting like randomly poofed somewhere else on the map, like way far from where you were. So you have this excruciating run that you have to do from this random area over to that area. And I didn't know this, but you had to create like you had to build like a sleeping bag, and then you had to drop your sleeping bag down in an area
Oh,
and then
and that
use
would
it
help you
as your
res
respawn point.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be your respawn point. But I didn't know that. I thought it was just something you use to like sleep in or something like that. You know
Right.
what I mean? So I'm collecting stuff, and like I just keep getting my ass handed to me by these zombies,
Well, I'll
and
just
then
say you
just
aren't the only
losing it.
person. You aren't the only person that didn't like it because they got a 35
A 35,
on Metacritic.
35, yeah,
A
dude, man,
35, dude. That is insane low.
35
That's
is terrible.
insane low.
So like this whole time I'm just like cursing this game. Like, why are we playing this shit? Like, I don't want to play this. Like, it's dumb. The fact that you have all of these damn zombies out here and you don't really have any means to really like fight for yourself because it takes so much to down them. And then the fact that you die and you end up getting spawned like clear away from your shit. And then you can't, how are you in a multiplayer game with somebody? Your friend is in that on that map, but the map is so damn huge and they put you so far apart that it's really hard to find somebody. And they aren't like, and it's not like, oh, there's like a beacon that shows like, oh, your friend is here. It's like
Right.
you have this map and there's this little like 20 by 20 size screen. You have to literally, this is a PC game. This is not an Xbox game. This is a PC game because you have to move your cursor over to a corner of the map. You have to hold it and you have to drag it up in order to see the rest of the map because you are only looking at a small portion of the map. It ain't enough zoom out to be able to see the entire
So
map.
there's no optimization for consoles.
It is not optimized whatsoever. You have to move your cursor to items. You got to click on that item. You got to move that item to the next spot.
Yeah, I don't know how your uncle has the patience for that trash game, dude.
Dude, my father-in-law, like,
He's a patient man.
he is
He is
super
a
patient,
patient man
and
because
it's like,
that's ridiculous, dude. That's a bad game.
so we put in like we played it for like almost like maybe 2 or 3 hours or whatever, and I feel like we just weren't going anywhere. Like we didn't get anywhere because we were getting into certain areas and we were just like, dying, you know what I mean? Because we didn't have anything. And there was like dogs that were out there on the map, and I tell you, the dogs were like the most ferocious shit out there because they would just punch you down. I couldn't even turn around to like kill them before they would down me. You know what I mean? And then I'm like,
Most ferocious.
and then
Who cares about zombies? The dogs you
the
gotta
dogs
watch
were the
out for.
worst. And
The
then
dogs were the worst.
and then what was crazier is like you start off with like 100 health and 100 stamina, but as you die, you start to lose at least 10% or so of that stamina and that health each time. So that until the point where you've died so much that your max stamina and your max health is 70. So you get downed much quicker when zombies come at you because you can't run that fast that far for that long. And then they're just on your ass. You know what I mean? And the dogs, I felt like
pop an effigy or something.
Dude, man, you need more than a
in Dark Souls, you pop an effigy to get your health back.
You need more than an effigy flask. You need a rune star. You need like a whole bunch of shit, man, to juice you back up. I don't even know how you get your health back up to its prior max or whatever, but it was just terrible, man. And like you could run away from zombies. If you had like enough stamina, you could get away from some of them, but the dogs. I could never outrun the dogs, dude. If you got a dog on your ass, you were done. You know what I mean? Like there's plenty of times where I was just dying from dogs, dude, and it was crazy annoying. And so I finally I got my father-in-law off of that trash, and I was like, dude, I can't play this game again. Like I won't play this game with you again. Let me look and find there's another multiplayer game that we can play. You know what I mean, on Gamepass, and we can play that instead. Because I do not want to do that shit again. Like that was not fun at all. So I ended up going through stuff, and of course, like there's not really like many like really good ones. Unless you want to play like Call of Duty or something like that. But I ended up choosing like, okay, Fallout 76 or grounded. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, okay, Fallout 76
Which
has
you've
like
already played before.
yeah, Fallout 76 has like mad updates, you know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't really played through that in a long time, so we'll give that a whirl. But the freaking download is like heavy as shit, dude. It's like it's like 100 some or more, download for that game. So I was like, okay, this shit ain't happening tonight. You know what I mean? Like I can't do it. It's gonna take too long for it to download. So I just went with Grounded. I had Grounded already on my console, and I just needed to do an update, and it was only like 75 megabytes or something like that. So we ended up playing Grounded a whole lot. But I mean, they've done like so much more to that thing, man. They've added like the koi pond you can go to. They've added like a haze area. They've added like zip lines. They've even made it to where you can actually just have as much fun as you want on a server or whatever. Like you can pretty much put God mode on so that you don't get killed by any of the bugs. You can put it so that you don't even aggro the bugs. You can put it so that you have every schematic available and you have all the resources you could need. And so you just like build shit,
Mm.
you know what I mean? So you could just play with it and just see what they can do. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So it's almost like when they give like for the PC for the longest, they would have like a little tester server or whatnot where you could go in and you could try the new stuff that they were going to implement and just like look at things, just see how it works and stuff like that. And so we were playing with that and having fun with that, and I was just like, man, it's like so at least I have some of these games on here because that 7 days was not it, bro. I did not want to play
Jeez.
that, man. And I can't get this guy to freaking switch over to PlayStation. Or at least get a PlayStation. I don't need him to fully switch. I just need him to get one. You know what I
Right.
mean? So he can play something else on there.
Play
But
some Ghost of Tsushima Legends or something.
yeah, man. So also I played Trek to Yomi. I gave that
Oh,
one a
you did
shot.
give that one a shot? How was that
Yeah.
one?
It's okay. It's not bad. I was not interested in the story really. So I skipped through a lot of it, but it did look pretty dope. You know what I mean? They give you like that old school classic
Yeah. Film
Asian
or
film
whatever.
type of
Yeah.
thing. There was some areas like of the game or whatever where it was like a scene like where it felt like you were watching from a theater because as you were walking by, side scrolling, there were like shadows of heads
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that kind of sitting in the front of the screen as if you were sitting in a row watching this movie. You know
Right.
what I mean? And seeing how it goes. So I thought that stuff was kind of
Kind of
cool.
cool. Cool little
It was like a
touch.
little niche thing, yeah. But
Yeah.
it was pretty like straightforward. You just had to be able to like block and then counter, pretty decently and whatnot. You would slay like whatever it was that came your way. So they also had difficulties though. So I think I played with like the medium difficulty, but they had one where it was like you could focus more on the story. But I actually wasn't really interested in the story, so that wouldn't have worked out for me. But it
Right.
wasn't bad. It looked cool, and it's a decent little game.
You
Um,
played to the end?
I probably would if I like really wanted to. I don't want to, but what I mean, if I didn't have anything else to play, I'd give that one a go.
Go beat
Probably over.
Tunic, man.
I I do want to go play Tunic, but I don't know. I'm just not really interested in none of this shit. I've kind of got that Elden Ring thing like you. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not Elden Ring. I'm really just
Mm-hmm.
waiting for Elden Ring to just say, "Hey, next week we're releasing DLC." Go, thank you, thank
Not
you.
gonna happen. Not
so
gonna
I
happen.
so I can play that man and get back to some good shit. But you know, it's just a waiting game, dude. I guess until freaking Hogwarts Legacy comes out,
I know,
and then
right?
we'll see what's
Yeah, I feel
going
like we
on
have like
there.
nothing good until the end of the year, man.
Yeah, we're stagnant, bro. It's super stagnant. And I mean, if you look at Game Pass, you're shit out of luck, with Game Pass. So
Yeah.
it's really those third party titles, that you're just hoping that hit that scratch that itch for you.
Yeah, I hope for something good. I don't know what's going on, man.
But yeah, so anyways, enough of that malarkey. Let's go ahead and get into some of the topics and things like we have. We have quite a few things to talk about, mainly PlayStation and a little bit of Xbox. We got a few different topics of PlayStation and whatnot. But before we get into all of that, let's go ahead and hit you with the intro.
I love you, me.
So the first topic we got is Ubisoft and Ubisoft Plus and PlayStation. It looks like like last week we had seen that Ubisoft Plus was getting added on to Game Pass, and we were just like dumbfounded, like, damn, dude, like Game Pass with Ubisoft Plus. That's like they might as well fucking. It's like they bought, Ubisoft. You know what I mean? Because you have access to all of those damn games, and then whatever trial shit they give you, which is a pretty solid thing. But it's like EA, you know what I'm saying? Like it's only like a couple of months before they're actually on there, for everybody to just play for how long
Mm-hmm.
they play. So you're like, that's just like a damn good deal. Like Xbox just keeps trying to find little ways to shit on Sony, every chance they get. But
Yeah, because Game Pass already has EA, and
yeah.
now they're gonna have Ubi. It's like,
And it's all just with that one subscription. So it's like you don't have to pay anything more. It's like, hey, my friend, here you go. You know what I mean? Just another kid.
yeah, this is what I thought we were saying a long time ago. Like, if they ever got Ubi Plus on there, it would be just a wrap, right? Because
If they
like
got Ubisoft, yeah.
you wouldn't need like anything else but that one subscription service. It's crazy for like
Covers all
probably
of it.
like 70% of like all major game releases. Like that one subscription would probably cover like that percentage. It'd be like huge.
Yeah. It'd be crazy. And then this week we see that, Ubisoft has like a little thing that's added on with PlayStation, coming up with their new subscription tiers with the plus, the extra, and then the premium or whatever. But there's a little caveat to this one. It's not the same Ubisoft Plus that you'll be getting with freaking Game Pass. This is like Ubisoft Plus Classics, whatever the fuck that is. But it's basically like lower graded tier shit that that Ubisoft has, like all their old stuff. You know what I mean? Like literally, some of the classics. So I mean they're sitting there sprinkling Far Cry 4 on there and like, all kinds of other stuff. I mean, you see some of the stuff that's listed here, it's not really that much. I mean, they give you Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you know what I mean? But Division, it ain't even Division 2. It's the Division, you know what I mean? And then you got For Honor. I mean, that game's been out for a long ass time. How do you feel about this Ubisoft Plus Classic Edition? Do you think it was even worth it?
It's so funny, man. I don't get it. Everything about Sony and this new service, we're going to get into, like, they finally announced a lot of the games, right? And we're going to get into that. But everything about it is B tier. It's like literally everything about it. It's like Game Pass comes out and says, guess what? We're giving you Ubisoft Plus. And then Sony comes out and says, guess what we're going to do? We're going to give you a shittier version of Ubisoft Plus. It's like, what? It's like, what? That's your counter? Like something like substantially worse?
We know you really like Ubisoft Plus. We're going to give you its cousin. He's the only one available. So I don't know if it's
trash. We're going to give you Ubisoft trash is what we're going to give you. Right? It's like, it's just so silly. Like, I don't. Okay, like, we're gonna get into PlayStation Plus here in a minute, but that feels like something for like a new gamer, like who just bought a PS5. Who is Ubisoft Plus Classic?
No. New gamer, period, bro. Like, don't have shit. Just got into games, and then
that's what Ubisoft Plus Classic is for, right? Like someone who's never played video games before.
Who is Ubisoft? These are like that type of shit. You know what I mean?
These are old.
If you've played any Ubisoft games, bro, you've already played some of this shit. Like, so you've already played majority of it. So for them to add this on here is giving us no value at all. None of the gamers who've been around, it's not adding much value, dude.
I don't know how you could ask anyone to pay for this.
Well, they're not. They just saying, hey, we're gonna tack this on to the plus, no, to the extra. They're tacking it on to the extra and the premium, of course.
Well, but, no, it's supposed to be something you get for your money. It's supposed to be, hey, look at all these things you get for your $50. Why would I ever want to pay for any of this?
It's like that it's like that grandiose thing that Xbox likes to use, right? Where they say it's like over 700 plus games.
Oh
But
yeah,
like when you really look at it,
I
you
know.
put like a shitload of Xbox 360 games on here, but I could give a fuck less about the 360 games. So don't tell me 700 plus. Give me like 100 plus modern games, you know what I mean? Or like, new games, up to date games, you know what I mean? At least within a year or two, type of games. But you guys have like so much crap on there, and you're trying to add that to your
It's
library
so
of stuff.
crazy, dude. Like
It's weird.
they have the Division as like one of the like big names on here. It's like, dude, Division 2 is come and gone.
Yeah,
Like we're
it's like, oh
going
yeah,
back to the
I
Division
remember Division. That was big back then. It's not
like
big
a
now. Like,
long
who's
time
playing that now?
ago. Like
I'm surprised if the servers still
what?
work to be able to play with that shit. Like it should have been
Like
shut
that's how
down by
old it
now.
is. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how old it is, right? You're like, are those servers still on?
yeah.
Yeah,
Does that still work?
that's what you're asking yourself
Uh,
when you see this, and you're just like, how the heck is this like? Oh, I can't wait to go. Who is saying that when they see
yeah.
this list? Who are
Oh,
they
dude.
marketing this
I
to?
bet you quarantine zone is probably lit, dude. You could probably get anything in there and walk out without ever getting tested or anything, because I remember back then you would go in there, you would get your ass handed to you if you tried to leave with some shit. You know what I mean? You were getting robbed left and right because it was just people camping, you know what I mean, looking to poach shit that you found and like, thanks for the trouble, I'll walk off with some of your goods. But you could
Like
probably do quarantine easy now. There's
these
gotta be
aren't even
nobody else.
like these aren't even like nostalgic favorites like Mario Brothers or something, right? Like when Nintendo gives you their nostalgic games, they're like actual like bona fide classics.
Right.
Like these aren't that. These are just like run of the mill one day gone the next games. These aren't like some kind of iconic games
Those
they're
unforgettable ones.
giving you. They're
Yeah.
just games you put in one weekend and you stop playing them. And they're like touting them here like it's some kind of the only game on here that maybe people haven't played is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So like that's the only game. The rest of these games are all might as well not exist. They might as well just have done Ubisoft Classic and had one game on the list.
Bro, they didn't even put Black Flag on there, right?
That would have been so funny.
One game on that shit.
Here's
Ubisoft plus
here's
Classic.
the
Here's
list.
Valhalla.
it's just Valhalla, dude. You look at the list and it just shows one game.
Valhalla. You're like, oh shit, they got Valhalla over here?
Dude, because when you go to the list, that's what your mind is doing. You're blotting out things that you've already played, and all you really ultimately see is like one game,
yeah.
right? Like that's all you really see in your mind is one game. Like that's how much of a joke this stupid Ubisoft Classic Plus is. Like it's so much of a joke that it's that much of a joke. Like I'm just like, come on, man. Sony, it's just sickening to me. Like I don't know who they're marketing this to.
I'm just wondering, like, what happened? Like, was it that Ubisoft could only do one deal with Ubisoft Plus based upon the deal that they did with Xbox, or what? Like, it's like, oh, we got this Ubisoft Plus. Well, we already gave that to Xbox, and we can't give them anything. So, we'll do this like Plus Classics, but we'll
No, it's because
reduce the number of
Sony.
stuff.
Sony's like that one cousin or friend or whatever that's just trying to like squeeze every little thing you can out of you. Oh, do you mind if I just get that? You mind if I just get that? They're just trying to get stuff for free, dude. They aren't trying to give you anything. What can they get from Ubisoft for free? Like, do you mind if we just take that trash from you and then just bundle it into something and call it classic? You cool with that? Like, we don't want to pay you nothing. Like, Sony's not trying to like do anything that's gonna cost them anything, dude. Like, they're not gonna do anything that's even remotely in the realm of risk.
I think this is a risk, a waste of time. You know what I mean? To even add this on here, I don't get it.
Yeah, like you know what I mean? It's like literally like it's like crumbs in the couch cushion.
Yeah,
like they're going around and collecting them because like they're free and cheap.
Yeah.
Like no one wants them; they're just cheap and free, and just putting it into something and calling it classic and saying, "Hey, you're getting value now." It's like, no, you're giving me crumbs in the couch cushion. That's food from 10 years ago that we've already been eating and gotten done with. Like, why would you give me that back and call me and make me think it's something of value? Like, why would you insult me like that?
Yeah, it's when you get them little Frankfurts, them cheap ass hot dogs. That's like, just the when they did up all the meat slices and stuff, the little residue that was left that fell on the floor, they sweep
Yeah,
that
that's what
shit
it
and they
is,
get it
man.
squeezed into a tube, and it's like, hey, you go your pack of hot dogs for $1.50.
And they make you think that you're like getting some value there.
Yeah,
I
you
don't know.
getting
It's
you
just
getting 10
it's
hot dogs for $1.50. That's a good ass deal, man. Enjoy these bitches. You like, oh, this shit is bullshit.
it's
Is
actually
this gristle?
trash.
Yeah,
Is this gristle?
like,
Is that a
yeah,
lip
that
I
shit
just
is
ate?
crazy. So yeah, I mean, it's disappointing that PlayStation keeps adding shit to their subscription service that hold no value. It doesn't add any value to
No,
it.
it doesn't.
It's more so like a theoretical value. Like, oh, like if you never played these games, you would enjoy this because you get to see these games now and play
Yeah,
them.
it's like it's text on paper value. Like you could just fill up a page with the
It's just
text
a
of the
list.
games,
Yeah.
but there isn't actually any real value there.
Yeah, I added 60 new games to the list right here doing this. You know what
Yeah,
I
look
mean?
how
So
big
thank
my
you.
list is. Aren't you
Yeah.
impressed? It's
Yeah.
like, no,
My shit
why?
whole weight, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah,
That's the strategy, right? Like that's clearly the strategy. Like they
that
think that we're
seriously.
stupid. In
Yeah.
my opinion, like I think you'd have to think that you think that a consumer out there is just like,
That we'd
whoa,
be okay with it. Yeah.
700 games? That's gonna sell. That's not what sells. I think any normal person, the first thing they ask is, wait, what are the games? That's what they
Mm-hmm.
want to know.
Yeah.
It's not just the sheer number of games that makes this thing valuable. Like
Yeah.
that's
What
what's
is
so
it?
moronic.
Yeah. If you give me a bunch of Bejeweled and shit like that, like I'm gonna be like, what? This isn't worth my time. Like, what is this?
And then
Like,
ask you to pay for it, right? Like that's crazy.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. But you tell us
I want
down
to
in
ask you this. I want to ask you this one more thing,
okay.
really quick. Just I guess. Well, I guess we can get into this. Yeah, go ahead. Move on. I'll ask you on this.
Okay, so yeah, you tell us down below in the comments whether or not you think that this Ubisoft Plus Classics edition to the PlayStation Plus subscription is like a benefit. If it's a plus, or do you think it was like a waste? Like they had to utilize that money, if they even paid any money for this, somewhere else, or do you think this was like Ubisoft trying to slide in to incorporate themselves as a PlayStation shit real quick? Because I know that Ubisoft Plus has only been able to be available on PC. So, it finally made its way to consoles, but this ain't it. This ain't the way to do it. You know what I mean? The way that they got it for a Game Pass, that's the way to do it. But this is not. This is not it. So you tell us how you feel about this down in the comments below. Sound off, man. But moving on to the next topic, we have the PlayStation Plus lineup that was announced. So this is giving you all of these different games. And Assassin's Creed Valhalla is on there. They giving Demon Souls, Ghost of Tsushima, Director's Cut, NBA 2K22, a couple more. And this is added to the service. So I'm assuming that this is that premium slot that they were talking about. Some of it could be in the extras. But yeah, I mean, we looked at these games, right? Go down a little bit more. Yeah, so they gave us this huge list of games, right? Because we've been wondering, like, okay, what the hell extra are we gonna get with these new additions to PlayStation Plus? And so, as you see right here, you're looking down the line, like Alienation. I don't know shit about that. Bloodborne is dope, but it's mad old, and they gave it to us in the PlayStation 5 collection. If you have
They
PlayStation
they
5,
gave it to us in PS Plus as well.
yeah, they did.
They gave us
Concrete,
Alienation in PS Plus. They gave us Concrete Genie PS
they
Plus. They
gave
gave us
us
Days
Days
Gone.
Gone.
They gave us Days Gone. They gave us Dead Nation. Now they
Yeah,
haven't given us
they
Death
haven't given us
Stranding
Death
yet.
Stranding. That's the only one, and they haven't given us Demon
They
Souls.
they
They
gave us
gave us
Destruction
Destruction.
Arsenals. They
Yeah,
gave us,
did they
you
give us
know,
Everybody's Golf? I
I
don't
don't
know.
think they gave us
Look
that.
there. Ghost of
They
Tsushima
gave us
Director's
God of
Cut.
War. They gave us God of War.
Yeah,
Right? They gave us
Zero
Infamous.
Dawn. They gave us Zero
They
Dawn.
gave us like so many of these games they've already given us. Like
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they gave us Knack as well,
I
and
think they
Little
did.
Big
They
Planet
gave us
3.
Resogun. They
Yeah.
get like they put these on here like there's some kind of value when they've already given these to everybody. They gave us The Last Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
They
But
gave us Until Dawn.
Right, but I
They
feel like
gave us all these.
what you have to try to take account in this, right? What PlayStation wants you to see, right? Kind of like, oh, Valhalla, they want you to see, like, oh, you get shit like Demon Souls, PS5. You get you can't even I ain't calling Destruction All Stars. You get Returnal, PS5. And I think there was like one other game on that list. Oh, Death Stranding. You know what I mean? But that's you can still say I have PS5 collection or whatnot, but I mean the majority of these games are all PS4. Like
Yeah.
they didn't they didn't add anything extra with this current gen right here. You know what I mean? They gave us about 3 to 5 games that were current gen but are still old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, it's kind of like you said, a similar situation to the Ubisoft Classic thing. Like,
Mhm.
you look at this list and your mind just immediately deletes like 90% of it.
Madam. Oh,
And
they
like
give you
all you
Miles
end up
Morales.
seeing is like 2 games, right? Like you see 2 games on the list, and you're
Yeah.
like, what am I buying? Like really, I feel
What are
like
you getting with that
you're
extra in that premium
here's
subscription?
$15. Okay, thanks for that. I'm like, what do I get? Oh, you get nothing. Thank you for the $15 though. It's
Yeah.
like what am I getting, right? Like what am I getting? I don't I don't understand. Like this is so
Scroll
and
down some
then
more.
also I feel like, dude, like what up?
Scroll up some more.
Oh yeah,
Or
scroll
whatever.
up.
Yeah, yeah. No, no,
Which
sorry,
direction?
down.
Down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel um like this is a 1 month purchase, right? Like the collection. Like you spend you buy 1 month, you play the games you want to play and then just
And
get
you're
off of
done.
it.
You're done with it.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
Go back down to
what's
the
to
basic.
keep you to come along? Like there's nothing else coming. Where like with Game Pass, they already told you what you're getting. And so
Mm-hmm.
like you want to keep it because you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's a complete mystery here. They're just like, this is what you get right now, and then we'll update it monthly. Like, okay, like what exactly, like is this giving me month to month? I'll
Mm-hmm.
if I want to play Death Stranding, okay, I'll buy this for 1 month and then I'll just cancel it. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what this feels like.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
I never bought Demon Souls. I'll go ahead and buy it for a month. Play Demon Souls, and I'll be done.
like this has the exact same feeling as like uh what we were kind of just talking about with the classic thing. Like who is this marketed to?
If
Like
you
I
scroll
feel
down too,
like
they also have the classics catalog on that list because
right, the classic games.
a lot of
Look
that
at these.
shit is up there
These are the
listed.
ones they chose, dude. Like, these are some whack ones,
Yo, Ape
dude.
Escape, man. They've always loved Ape
This is
Escape, bro.
weird. It's because they want to parse them out, monthly. Like so they think like here's one we'll give you, and then like we'll wait till next month. Like that's some kind of way to like keep you string along. It's like
I
once again, these
guess,
are games like you're gonna pop on. I'm telling you, like everyone out there, like you're gonna pop on this game, for like 1 minute, and you're gonna like that was fun, and then you're gonna get off of it. And you're like, I'm gonna go back to playing Warzone or whatever. I'm gonna go back and play a modern game, like.
bro.
Um,
They're literally putting like Jack and Daxter and shit up on here. Um, I mean, shit, Siren, what, like Rogue Galaxy? Oh man, Ape
well,
Escape
I'll say
2.
like I'll say like to GZ Doctor Foreve. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correct, buddy, but uh yeah, I mean you could do that. You could hop on for $1 and play Starfield for a month. That's actually like a really good value. But the
Mhm.
reason why Game Pass is better value is because you're getting first party and third party day one releases on that monthly.
Yeah.
Like we don't know what we're getting on here, right? So it's
Well,
worth sticking
it would
around.
have had that value like that, but as we can see, 2022 is a shit year for Game Pass as well. So
It would have had that value,
the
right?
first party
Exactly.
titles. So yeah, you
Right.
get your dollars, your $1 for that month or that 3 month period, and then you just dip out. Wait until next year when they actually put shit out, and then get it. You know what I mean? You won't be really missing out on much for sure.
Like I feel like,
Put your name, your gamer tag if you don't care about it, just to play the games. You know.
yeah, it's like this seems like something that you really are targeting what you said before, like a first time PS5 owner, but it's also something that I think like really only like hardcore fans of PlayStation would want to buy because it's just like nostalgic in a lot of ways. So it's
Yeah.
like, but then the hardcore fan doesn't really want to buy this because they already played it all already. And you're like, okay, now who are you marketing this towards?
Yeah, you
Like, who is
literally
this
have to
supposed
get
to
like
be for?
this has to be for those people who literally loved the shit out of those games in particular and wouldn't mind playing that game again on these new consoles. Like it can't just be like, oh, I like to play like older games. Like it has to be like I really loved that game and did it. I mean, like I loved BioShock. I'm not playing the remastered though. You know what I mean? I played it,
Right,
I beat it. Like yeah, I don't
right.
have any need or desire to want to play that again.
I
You
mean,
know
I
what I
think
mean?
we've played all these except probably Lego Harry Potter, right? And I
Y-
didn't play Lego Harry Potter because I didn't want to play it.
Yeah.
That's why I never played it,
I didn't play
right?
Bulletstorm.
Like, uh, we didn't. Did we not? Yeah, maybe we didn't play Bullets. I
I
don't
didn't
know,
play
but
Bulletstorm, yeah.
the reason why I didn't play this because I didn't want to play it, right? So it's like
Yeah.
everything on here that because these are so old that if it's a game I wanted to play, I probably already played it, right?
Yeah,
Like
this
so,
is
like they're
yeah,
not
this
really giving
they're to
me
the point where if I did not play it when it came out, it's because I didn't want to. So you giving it to me now really doesn't benefit me. And I know it's like, oh, I'm just one gamer out of the millions or whatever, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of them, that are like that. A lot of gamers that there's at least like 20 to 30 games on this list. That's like, why the fuck did they add that? Like they could have added so much more.
absolutely. Yeah, it's just interesting, man. Like, yeah. So all this does now seeing the list, all it does for me is just kind of confirm, why I didn't
Where
want to
I'm
buy it to begin it. Yeah, why I'm not buying it.
at. Where
Like,
I'm at.
so I was gonna ask you. This is what I was gonna ask you before we switched over to this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like looking at this list and looking at Ubisoft Plus
Mm-hmm.
coming to the PlayStation platform. If you were gonna pick a subscription service on PlayStation,
Right.
which one would you rather pick?
Between Game Pass and
No,
PlayStation.
no, 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 no. On PlayStation.
Oh,
So
first,
you
so
like if
the
you're a
plus,
PlayStation
the extra,
owner,
and the premium?
yeah, like if you're a PlayStation owner and you're like, okay, I want to sign up for a subscription service so I get free games monthly or whatever.
Yeah.
Which one would be the better buy? Like, I mean, what do you think? I think
I mean, so if I'm new to it and I'm gonna pick a subscription and I'm new to PlayStation in general.
okay. If it's not new, I mean you personally.
Yeah. Okay, so me, I mean, I'm gonna stay with my plus, right? I'm not gonna bump it up to the extra or the
No, no. I'm just
premium.
asking you. I'm just asking you. What would you prefer? Like, if you were going to buy one of these,
Hmm?
which which monthly subscription service would you rather have? Would you
I
rather have PlayStation Plus Premium or would you rather have Ubisoft Plus?
Oh, if I'm choosing between the two?
Yeah, because if you're a PlayStation owner, which
Mhm.
you are,
Yeah.
and let's imagine you didn't own an Xbox, so all you had was your PlayStation,
Right.
and you wanted to have a subscription service. Which subscription service are you as an individual, godly sovereign, the way you play games, is more interesting to you?
I would just do the PlayStation Plus subscription. Like I wouldn't want the
No,
Ubisoft.
I'm saying just comparing the two services, Ubisoft Plus versus Premium,
Mhm.
right? So stop telling me exactly what you're going to do in your life. I'm just saying compare in these two services, Ubisoft Plus service versus PlayStation Premium service. Which would you rather own?
I believe that the Ubisoft Plus gives you a lot more games
Same here. Same
that give
here.
you a lot more trial, like a
And
longer
I
trial
think,
period, and it's every game. So whatever new shit that they got, you can play it on there, and then
yep,
it's just a trial period, and then after a couple of months, I think 3 months, you're able to like actually play the game in full. You don't without a time limit. So that would be the subscription that I would play.
exactly. I
Wouldn't waste my
think
time.
that's very telling. So I was just trying to do like a thought experiment with you. I wasn't telling you like what you were going to do because I know neither one of us are buying either one of those services. I'm just
Yeah, yeah,
saying I think it's very telling because if you're on a PlayStation and you rather have the third party subscription, if you were going to pick a winner, I would too. I would rather have Ubisoft Plus. I get all the newest games right now. right? I get Far Cry 6. You get everything immediately right now, and the next one's coming out. You get like to
Right.
me, I rather that. This is this
Yeah, and I
that's
mean,
super telling to me. Just the difference of how bad this service is, in my opinion. That you rather have
you
a single developer's third party platform than all of PlayStation's premium service.
yeah, it's just because they're not giving you much. You know what I mean? So you don't have much to really deal with.
Exactly.
And it's like, yeah, if you have like PlayStation Plus, right? They're giving you like 3 games a month or whatever to like add to your library and stuff. But at the same time, those games haven't been that great, of additions recently, and a lot of them are like super old to the point where you can buy them for like $10, $15, try OfferUp or eBay, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
You can get the
yeah.
bitches for like dirt cheap,
I
you know what I
agree,
mean?
dude. That's a great point. You could
As
actually
opposed
probably you could probably find all the games you want on the premium for well less than $120.
yeah.
You
And
could
you just
like
that's a one-time fee and you got them bitches and you got them. Like, getting
you
the
can even
games,
resell them and
yeah,
get your money
yeah.
back. Yeah.
Right, and getting the games that you get available off of the premium and stuff like that, they're only like, even if you add them to your library, right? Even the PlayStation Plus games that you get the 3 a month, like they're only playable if you continue to have their subscription service. The moment you stop, they're gone. So it's like if you didn't really care that much, you know what I mean, buying the games that you wanted to buy from that premium list, getting them used, you'd be better off because you permanently have that game until you choose to change that decision. You know what I mean? But like being stuck with a subscription fee just to be able to access your large library, you know what I mean? That would suck ass, you know?
And then like it's funny because like we finally scroll down here to this time limited game trials,
Hmm.
and you finally see some games on this. You're like, oh, I actually would want to play these ones, but these are game trial only games. So
Yeah.
it's not like you're getting any of these games right here to
Yeah, and
play.
the craziest thing is that you're seeing here that PlayStation Studios is giving you Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection. So it's just a culmination of all the games that have already released, like almost 6, 7 years ago. Like you can buy all of those for dirt cheap
Yeah, but I think they're also already up here.
as other games. I
Yeah,
mean,
look at Uncharted Drake's collection right here,
yeah,
and Uncharted Fourth and Lost Legacy. They're already
that's
giving
the
them
whole
to
thing.
you.
Yeah, they're already getting it.
Why do
So
I need a trial of this? Because it's better graphics? I mean, good grief, how
it's weird
dumb.
unless those are all included in there as well. But I mean, it's interesting that they're giving you a trial of Cyberpunk 2077, but in all actually you can get
And
Cyberpunk
and
for like
and tr- and
$10.
also, bro, this isn't even really like anything for you. This is like
Mm,
an ad
yeah.
because you don't get the game. This is trying to get you to buy
All
the
right.
game. Like
Yeah.
these are trying to get you to make a purchase. These aren't like trying to get you something of value. These are
Yeah.
trying to get you to make a purchase. Like these are just like in-game ads, these trials. Like
And it's interesting that when you look at these lists, right? Like I mean, you have two of these trials. So you have this Legacy of Thieves collection, and then you have Horizon Forbidden West. So it's like, okay, that's like their newest game. They give you a trial of it, so that's cool. You know what I mean? So if I was able to have access to this trial, I'd give it a go. You know what I mean, and see if I really want to play it, because like you said, if
mhm.
the fucking the talking and all of that stuff is like really drawn out, I might just be like, oh yeah, I'm glad I just did this trial, dude, because that saved me 60, $70, And then you look at these third party
Yeah, that's
stuff,
value.
and the only thing there, I mean, really is like Tiny Tina's Wonderland. That's like super new. I mean, you have Farm Simulator 22 and WWE 22, so those are new. So there's a lot more newer shit with third party partners than there is even with the PlayStation Studios, and that's kind of crazy. Like there should be mad PlayStation Studio trials on there, not just one or two.
Well, I mean, I will say that that it's this is like a tool then. It's not really like fun gamer value. It's like a tool you could use to see if you want to buy a game. Right?
Yeah,
So like that's a
that
kind of a neat
option,
tool,
that other
but it's
option.
not
Yeah.
like adding to like your gaming collection enjoyment. It's just helping you determine what game to buy. But they did say that moving forward, I think like any game that's over $35 or whatever, it's like mandatory to have a trial. So if
Oh,
that becomes like real and like it's immediate though, I don't want
yeah.
it to be like, oh, we'll get you a trial in a couple months. No, if it was like immediately when the game launched, you can
God of
trial
War
it.
trial type shit.
Then
Yeah.
yeah, like then you might find that tool useful. But is that
Okay.
$120 a year
Useful.
useful? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because that's really the only thing we'd be getting from it, you and I. Because
Hmm.
everything else, like we've played pretty much. So
Yeah.
it's
And I
just
mean, for the
terrible.
most part, PlayStation Studios has had a great track record. So there's not really too much that you would want to just leave as a game trial. You would have just bought it. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a
Yeah,
couple that
yeah.
you would have that like,
Yeah, I
oh,
don't need to trial this.
right,
We're gonna buy this stuff, right? Like guaranteed. Now these
yeah,
third parties we might trial, but really, yeah, PlayStation Studio stuff we're probably just buying anyways, right? Like we're not needing a trial for that. Um, but that's what this service is, man. I don't know who's gonna spring for this.
mm,
I really hope that no one does and everyone just stays here
mm-hmm.
and it sends a message to Sony. Like, hey, we're not going to be fooled by this, like we're not going to buy a service like this that doesn't really offer anything,
Yeah,
revolutionary or valuable.
mm-hmm.
Game Pass would just be killing them right now had they not had that hiccup. If it wasn't for that hiccup, man, this would be even worse. But because Game Pass had that hiccup, that's kind of like a little
The
softball to
hiccup that
Sony,
they don't
right?
have any first party
Yeah, they
title.
don't have any first party
Yeah,
titles right now. Like that's really
that's more
benefiting
of
Sony,
a
in my
fuck up
opinion.
than a hiccup. that's,
Yeah.
that's pretty bad, dude. But
It's really bad.
yeah,
It's really, really bad. But
what
it's
did you
just
have on the next tab?
the next tab. This was the one. It actually just showed the first party, the ones we just
Okay, so
looked
the
at
same
for
things that were on
trials.
that list.
Yeah, the
Gotcha.
trial. So it doesn't really make much of a difference.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
So I mean,
so
you tell us in the comments down below. Do you think that this is a solid lineup for PlayStation Studios to add these games on there, these third party partners games that are on here, all these things that are accessible? Does this like add that weight? You know what I mean? Does this make this a decent competitor to Game Pass? Do the trials really matter to you? Do you think that small list will grow? I'm hoping it grows, but with PlayStation, you can never really be too sure. So, you can only just hope, really. But let us know in the comments down below. Moving on to the next topic we have. It is
gosh, I don't even see. Anyways, I don't even see
what
Ratchet and Clank on here.
I
We're ripped
don't. I
apart.
didn't see that. I didn't see
Wow.
Ratchet on there, which you would think,
Anyways,
oh, maybe that'll
yeah,
be on.
you would think that'd be on there, but yeah, it's not even on there. Anyways,
Yeah, but for the next topic, Sony has some a possible deal with FIFA, Avatar, and Hogwarts Legacy. I believe that there was like some talk or something like that had mentions of a whole bunch of games that they were doing deals with and that they were trying to have partnerships with to try to bring more to Sony. And a couple of these were mentioned or had popped up in Vision, and Hogwarts Legacy. That's a big game that's coming out hopefully at the end of this year or whatnot. And you know, would that mean that possibly we have some type of exclusiveness with Hogwarts Legacy? I mean, I believe that game is going to be on every console possible, PC, Xbox, PlayStation. But I mean, could we have like some special uh you know robes or wands or something like that that's like Sony exclusive, like a Sony branded wand or something? What do
probably.
you think?
Yeah, like I think like as silly as it is, man, like I think these little things work to some degree. Like unless it's on Game Pass,
Hmm.
and I know that I'm gonna get even if it's a little something extra, I'll just buy
Yeah,
out the PlayStation version, right? Like these little deals, like they do work. Like now we know this cannot mean that it's gonna be like exclusive to console to the PlayStation. We know that that's not
yeah, no.
this.
I
It's
don't
gonna
think they
be
would.
like
I don't think they would shoot themselves in the foot with that if
yeah,
they
it's
want.
gonna be just something like yeah, skins or wands or like a special item, maybe like a mini expansion, like a mission or two, just
Or like
something a
some,
little
maybe
extra.
like some decorations for your room. You know what I mean, or something.
Yeah, or you might get like the new FIFA players early or whatever if they have DLC. Like you might get things early,
Yeah.
right? So just little perks like that, kind of like what Sony did when they had deals with Call of Duty. Now, of course, they don't because
Or
Microsoft owns
even when they
that.
had to deal with Destiny, you know what I mean? When they
Or
had that
deals
deal
with Destiny.
they
Yeah,
would give
like
them.
it does make me want to buy it. Like knowing that, I would probably absolutely buy Hogwarts on PlayStation, like without a question, just because I know that I'm gonna get a little bit of something extra, for it. But it's just interesting because they didn't even announce this. It was just part of like their latest corporate meeting. So they had
Yeah.
a corporate strategy meeting, and one of the chief executive officer said, as a provider of this business, we value our relationships with third parties. And they had these logos visibly on the screen behind him, kind of like leaked it out of the bag, right? Like, and these are some big ones. Like Hogwarts Literacy is huge. I think Avatar is going to be a big one too. That's another UB game.
Now,
Once
which
again,
which
Ubisoft Plus
avatar
is
is
just
that? Is that
better.
the blue avatar? Is that the blue people avatar?
Yeah, the blue people Avatar.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So kind of based off of this new movie or whatever that's
Yeah,
coming.
it's gonna be like probably an open world in the Avatar world or whatever.
Mm.
Um, so it'll probably be relatively popular. I'm not the biggest fan of that movie, but I know like it's pretty popular. So like
Yeah.
I think like that could be a pretty but it's interesting because it says this list included time exclusive. So maybe we could see something like that with these. It's definitely not going to be like guarantee like exclusive, but you could maybe see these like things being timed exclusives. Some of the
Yeah.
things back on the wall, and so where Sony lacks in money because they don't have the money to keep up with Microsoft. They're busy, man. Like
Yeah.
they're busy out there making deals,
Networking, man.
networking. They're just busy out there doing that, and it's like you can't really put a price on that. And it shows in some of these things, in some of these areas where Microsoft, like we were talking, just can't even get their first party studios to produce games. And like it's just this is why Sony's better. They're just better at these little things. They do what doesn't require money better, and like I said, I'd buy it on their console, honestly. Like I would. I have no loyalty to either one. Whichever one's going to give me the better deal is the one I'm going to buy, right? Like I'm not some kind of like, it's like, oh, I don't care because Xbox, my team is Xbox. I'm going to buy it. No, like I'm going to buy it on whatever console is going to give me, the best value for my money. And so why wouldn't I want to get the free one, dude? Right? You get the free weapon or whatever, the free gear. It's like, why wouldn't I want to get that?
It had to be something like extreme though. It had to be something like really good for me to like. Oh, if it was available on Game Pass, I'm gonna buy it over here on this system.
Oh yeah, I mean? That's the one thing.
Really
if it was Game Pass, I would not. Yeah, I'm going Game Pass, even if I get some cool stuff on PlayStation. Yeah, it would have to be.
I just missed out on whatever it was. Yeah,
right. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one thing Microsoft can do is try to put it on Game Pass to get us to play it on their console.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, if it's just going in the store and buying one, one for one, then I'm gonna take the one, that is going to give me a little bit more bang for buck.
Even if it's like, oh, because you pre-ordered it here, you get this. You know what I mean? And there's no pre-order on the other one. It's like, oh, well, shit, I'm going to do the pre-order then for this console.
Yeah, exactly. Even if it was like a pre-order bonus, right? Because I know neither one of us, like, we have no console allegiance, like we're going to buy it, on really what's best for us, And I know people hate these little things. I know that that's kind of a little bit of like a, controversial thing. When Sony was getting like the maps first on Call of Duty, right? Or the DLC first on Call of Duty. People were hating hard on that, and I get that. They just want parity, but the bottom line is, man, these things work.
Mm-hmm.
These little deals work. That's just a fact. So it's like if you hate it so much, don't feed into it. Because I mean, that's why.
You remember? That's why they do it, yeah, because they know it strikes, that like, oh, should I get it on this or should I just get it on this? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
get it on this
absolutely.
system or whatever.
Totally, dude.
But you remember the issue with Marvel's Avengers, right? That ass game. When they had Sony had exclusive rights to Spider-Man on that one, so you could never play Spider-Man on the Xbox.
That's right. That's right.
On the
PlayStation. That's a big deal.
People were pissed about that one, dude. Yeah, because that's a great character, and you want to play that one. And so it's like, oh, okay, so I gotta buy this bitch on the PlayStation in order to even see that character. Like, I think Xbox have failed, man, because they should have had like they should have made the Hulk exclusive or something like that to the Xbox. They should
Yeah,
have
like Iron
figured
Man,
out
like
some
somebody's
shit to do.
popular. Yeah, some reason to make you buy it on their console,
Yeah,
right? Because yeah, absolutely. If I
yeah,
was
for
ever going
sure.
to buy that
But
game, which I never would in any world, but if I was ever going to buy
yeah,
that
not
game,
at
it
all.
would have been the PlayStation version, right? Absolutely. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. My crazy father-in-law bought that one too. He was loving that shit.
he was
That guy's got
loving
too much
it.
patience for me, man.
He
Too much
was
patience
laughing,
for me.
just laughing it up, huh? Just laughing it up, loving it.
Dude, dude, a Hogwarts themed console would be kind of ill, but
Heck yeah, it
I
would
would be
be.
pissed. Jeez, I would be pissed if they decided to come out with a Hogwarts themed console because of the fact that they can't even get the fucking main console out there in the stores on a regular basis. So don't go wasting the chips on these exclusive consoles here to try to make me rebuy that bitch. Like I already bought one, you know what I mean? Like just chill. Like make the consoles so there can be other people out here that can play that shit. Don't try to sell me again on another console because it got Harry Potter glasses on that shit or some shit like that. You know, I wouldn't want that.
Harry Potter glasses, a little
Yeah, you
Harry
know, like a little
Potter.
outline, or
Yeah, a
like
little lightning mark.
a
Yeah,
little
a little
lightning bolt on
lightning. Yeah, lightning bolt.
it, like a exclusive
Yeah.
Ravenclaw symbol on your shit.
Got like some plastic,
uh,
like embossed, like scarf
yeah,
wrapped around it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if I could buy a Hogwarts Legacy and get like a little scarf in my shit in my box. You know, when I buy the
Yeah.
box, like
A little special
I'll buy that
edition
bitch on
box.
PlayStation for a
Get
scarf.
yourself a
Yeah,
Hogwarts. Get yourself a
that's
Hogwarts
you
scarf.
can sell that shit and get like a good percentage of your money back
Dude, people
on
would
that.
love that, dude.
Dude, a
Dude,
PlayStation, you know, Ravenclaw, HIPAA, whatever, you know what I'm saying? All of that shit.
yeah,
You know what I
dude.
mean?
People
That
would
type
like
of
buy
exclusive shit,
those
that would be
to
dope, dude.
because people cosplay Harry Potter hard, dude.
Yeah,
Like that
yeah.
would be totally valuable for
And it would
sure.
just be like a dope little piece to have, you know what I mean? If they were like limited, you know what I mean? Like you got a PlayStation Hogwarts, you know, scarf hanging on your wall or
Yeah, you're
something.
like, give me
Flag or something.
Ravenclaw, dude. Right? Like, you can pick the one you want or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like they just got like four different boxes, and you
Yeah,
Hufflepuff it
you
or
pick.
whatever you
Yeah,
want
you
to do. Got
puff
that
it.
shit?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly, dude. You slithering
That's
it
that's
out.
that's really what they should do, man. They should split up, like you know,
Dude, they would
give
sell
Xbox
copies
like
just for the scarf, dude.
yeah, Hufflepuff and Gryffindor for the Xbox, and then Ravenclaw and Slytherin for the PlayStation. And it's just like see
Yeah.
which version
Which
sells the most.
version?
You know,
Well, you already
that's
know Slytherin, and Ravenclaw would be selling them all, dude. But I know there's people out there like Hufflepuff and
I
stuff.
think they'll shit all over that Gryffindor though, man. I think Gryffindor
Yeah,
would own
Gryffindor
all
would
of
win it all,
just that
dude. Yeah,
one version.
Gryffindor. Just that one version would like be so popular, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're gonna figure something out. I don't know what it's gonna be, but you know, PlayStation always got some tricks up their sleeve, dude. So they're gonna figure some way to get
Yeah, they
people
don't
to play
stop
on
working, man. It seems like Xbox kind of like stops working. That's what it looks
a
like. I know
little
they're
bit. Yeah.
not,
It
but
seems like
it
no,
just
it seems like
visually
they focus.
seems like
Yeah, it seems like they focus their attention on buying like you
mm,
know, all these entities and stuff like
acquisitioning.
that.
Yeah.
While PlayStation is trying to figure out different ways and how they can work with all these other
Right.
entities.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and Xbox is like, I got it. Throw it at them. Like, here, let me buy you. You know what I mean? Come work for
Yeah.
us.
Exactly.
Type shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, let us know what you think with this Hogwarts Legacy, you know, symbols and stuff like that on you know images and things that they have. Do you think that there's a chance that it could actually be one, or do you think that it's just like, oh, you know, these are you know some of the partners that we really like, and we'd like for them to, you know, try to push it harder on our console. You know what I mean? They did do a state of play for Hogwarts Legacy. I feel like it's too coincidental. You know what I mean? Like they have to have something in the books to waste a whole state of play on Hogwarts Legacy. You know what I mean? Instead of showing like one of their other first
Totally.
party games or
Totally.
something
You're
else.
gonna get
That's like
something bonus. You're getting something
yeah.
bonus for buying it online.
I was
Absolutely.
thinking that it was not Hogwarts Legacy. You know what I mean? I was thinking that it was like, you know, oh maybe God of War Ragnarok or something like that. Or just
Yeah, I
showing
know.
us a bunch
I
of
know.
games or something. But like, oh, Hogwarts Legacy? Isn't that shit available like everywhere? Like, why would you focus on them,
Mm-hmm.
in particular? But yeah, let us know in the comments down below. And on for
Absolutely,
the
dude.
last topic of the day, man. Finally, we get to some Game Pass stuff, eh? So,
I know.
they finally released some of the information for the new games that are coming to Game Pass, man. And if we zoom in on these games, we have Skate, which has probably already been on there. It's just available for the cloud now. Of course, they're giving us Farming Simulator 22, which was
See,
shown
this
on that
was this
list.
was
For,
actually on the timed exclusive, the trial for
exactly,
PlayStation
yeah.
Premium,
But
but you
that's
just get
just
the
what I was
full
about to
game.
say.
You get
Yeah,
the
you'll
whole
just get,
game. Yeah, on
and you'll
Game
be able to
Pass.
play it three ways. You know what I mean? Cloud or download
Yeah,
it to
the
your
cloud
console
is
or
huge,
computer.
right? That's cool,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, especially if you was into that type of shit. Um, and then Floppy Nights. I have no clue what the fuck that is, but I might end up just playing it. It could look like it could be like some type of Pokemon thing or something.
Yeah, you already know it's
Um,
going to be a pretty cool indie. And one thing that's cool, like we kind of touched on this last week
mm,
when that Xbox news broke on like how Phil Spencer's really good at like picking the really good indies,
yeah,
like to pay for. That's what he's
right.
really good at. He's good at recognizing talent in good
Yeah.
games. He's not good at managing these studios. That's clearly, or he doesn't have enough help. It's probably because he's too stretched. But he's really good at knowing like where to target. And so like I'm probably gonna like this game. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
odds are it's probably gonna be a lot of fun. Like we play Monster Train, like what is that? But it's a lot of fun. Right? Like you
Right,
play these
right.
little indie games, you're just like, these are just a lot of fun. Like you can't deny it.
Yeah, you
And
come
so
across those things like that Turnip Boy
yeah,
does
Turnip Boy.
taxes.
You're like, I
It's
never
like
heard of that,
it's
but it's
so
like
weird,
this was
but it's
fun.
like, it's cool enough to, play for a little bit, and like blow some time or whatever. And then when you add shit to the cloud, it just makes it even easier to try
Yep.
it. Like I don't have to download this at all. I could just try it right now, see if I like it, you know what I mean, and give it a whirl. It makes the attempts like way more easier. Like I
Absolutely,
definitely
dude.
have
I agree
found myself
100%.
just trying shit a lot more now that the cloud is available on the Xbox because I don't have to download it, because it's like, why would I waste some of my hard drive space, on this thing? Because I'm gonna have to download it and then make sure that I remember to delete it if it's ass. But and then sometimes you just don't want to wait, like you're like, I beat Elden Ring, so I'm like, damn, what should I play next? You know what I mean? I go into Game Pass, it's like, oh, I can play Tunic,
Yep.
with
Right from the
the
cloud.
cloud. Might as well, you know what I mean? Go ahead and go in. So, that type of stuff is cool. Jurassic World
Yeah,
Evolution
what
2.
I don't know what this is, man. Like I'm not sure what this is.
I want to say this is like Sim City type shit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Where
you
you're
build a
building
park.
a park
Yeah.
and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's
You're
got to
just
be
trying to
something
get
like
the
that, right?
dinosaurs and like the attractions and different things like that. So that's whatever. Pac-Man Museum, that's another whatever one. I mean, there's probably people that just like, playing old school Pac-Man and shit. I believe this just gives you like a whole slew of all the fucking Pac-Mans that have ever come out. So, there's that. Maybe if they got like a 3D one or something like that, that might be cooler. But if this is all the 2D shit,
Yeah, the
it's kind
Jurassic
of
World
like,
is pretty well reviewed. It's got 78, almost an 80 on
okay,
Metacritic.
like a
Yeah,
solid.
I just don't see. It's crazy. They kind of bat 100 on Game Pass. Like they don't put shit games. They don't put any bad games on Game Pass. Like that's just the truth. Like every game they choose is going to be something that's going to be pretty good. It may not be like masterpiece good,
Pretty
right?
decent, yeah.
But it's going to
There's
be a
somebody that's gonna like that game and
yeah. It's
enjoy it.
not
And
going to
be
be like a bad game exactly.
But they
Um,
definitely throw a lot of shit out there. I wouldn't say that it's like, that they like really, really going into detail with some of the stuff that they be with all of the stuff that they be doing, but they definitely are looking out for like a couple of those niches, like or a couple of one of those prized ones, like where you go in and you look at this, this thing that's like uh freaking 12 games that they're releasing, each month or sometimes twice a month. You know what I
mhm.
mean? They're adding on there. You could look and see there's probably about 2 to 3 games that are like a solid addition where you're like, okay, damn, I might give those a try. At least I'll give it a try. So You have that other game, oh Boomerang. I'm not sure what
Yeah,
that
this
is,
I
but
have
I'm
no
not
clue on what this is.
another indie. So I mean, it might be worth giving it a look. See, it's on the cloud, so you know what I mean. It doesn't take nothing to just click on a button, wait for it to load up, and then play it instead of waiting for it to download. You also got Little Witch in the Woods. Now this one's interesting because this is a game preview, and I haven't
Right.
really seen too many game previews. The only other one that I know of, really, and I don't really like focus in on the game previews, but the only one that I really know of is Grounded. That one's like the longest game preview that I've ever seen, just in general. You know what I mean? That you can play and whatnot. It's available. So this one might be one of those that it might be interesting to check it out.
Yeah,
Could be
yeah,
worthwhile.
absolutely. Yeah, this is probably going to be another really cool little indie. Like that's what I mean. Like anything that Microsoft has chosen to pay money to put on their Game Pass is
Mhm.
probably something they've researched and saw that it was somewhat well received. Like that's what I mean by like not putting trash on Game Pass. Like not
Yeah.
that they bat, perfectly, but
Right.
it's just
Right.
that everything that they choose to put on here, you could probably be pretty positive to know that it was probably somewhat of a well received game. And if you tried it, you'll probably see some value in it, right? Like I'm sure there's going to be some value to be found here. Like I don't really know any. I haven't seen a trailer for this. I haven't heard about this, but
Right.
like I could probably be pretty assured that it's going to be probably pretty kind of fun. So
And I think some of these are day ones, right?
yeah, this is this is a preview, so clearly that's day one. This
Yeah.
is day
Yeah.
one. Floppy Nights, Sniper Elite 5. That's a pretty big game. That's like a full price game, right? That's day one.
Yeah.
I'll probably just play it because it's day one, right? It's not cloud, but that's a big title release. So
Yeah. Sniper Elite's a solid little game to try and play. And then you've got like Cricket 22, for those people that like that stuff. Hard
yeah,
Space
cricket game.
Shipbreaker, Her
Yeah, see, I have no
Story.
clue what this is. Her Story I've played.
You played
Her
Her Story?
Story, I beat Her Story. It's pretty
Okay.
cool. This is a really
Uh,
good game. It's probably like a 4 hour game, four hours or so, and you're
okay.
just basically clicking through like you're a detective and like you're clicking through like past police interrogations,
Interesting.
and you're learning and trying to piece together the case. It's really fun.
Okay.
It's a really good
And then
game.
the last one on that list
Yeah, I
is
don't know what this
Vampire
is.
Survivors. I'm not sure
No clue
what
what
it
that is.
is, but maybe it'll be something entertaining enough to like hit console at some point when they revise the controls, on it, so that it might be something to check out. But they've got one thing that they managed to do, dude, is always try to go across the board with adding stuff. One thing I thought was interesting though is Skate, and that it's an EA Play game, but it's also on the cloud. That's kind of interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this is the original one that everyone loves too.
Yeah, yeah, the old one.
Yeah,
So, I mean, but the fact that it's like an EA Play game, and then they're adding that to the cloud service. You know what I mean? I'm wondering if you still get it through EA Play, or if it's just like a regular Game Pass edition. And not through that EA Play loop. But
I think it's
I
EA Play Loop, but yeah,
Okay. But yeah,
that's what I
so I
think it
mean,
is.
that's interesting. I wonder if they'll do more EA Play games
In the
through the
cloud.
cloud. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that you have access to certain stuff.
Yeah, that's a
Obviously, the
perfect
more
game for the
taxing
cloud.
games, probably wouldn't work that well. But at least as of right now. But who knows later on down the line. But yeah, I mean, so that's the lineup just for the month of
Yeah,
May.
this is the
The
second May
end,
drop.
yeah,
This
this
is the
is the
second
second
May
one.
drop
Like I'm
because
saying, man, they're dropping
it's
shit like two
crazy.
times, two times a month, and they give you
Yeah,
like 12 games, to choose from. So it's quite a slew of games, man, to pick from. So it's like I always just like go on just to check. I mean, doing the podcast helps also to stay in the know. But you know what I mean? It's always good to just hop on Game Pass and just look and see what they
totally. It's
have.
fun.
Maybe it's
It's
something
fun,
I
man.
missed. Just added like two or three random games like in the middle of the month. You know what I mean? That's on there.
Yeah, it's
But
like going to back in the day, going to the rental store. What do they have new?
they got, man.
Right? It's
Yeah.
just fun to see what's new, what's recently added. And like, oh, that looks fun. Let me try that out. Like it's just so it's like they drop games on there so frequently that it's like almost every time, like every week I log in, I feel like there's a new game that's just been added. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So love Game Pass.
Yeah, for sure, man. So yeah. Let us know in the comments below if you like any of these games that you see here. Maybe you want to give floppy nights a try. You know what I mean? It seems like something quirky, some monsters inside floppy disks or whatever that you're tossing out there, something like that to fight or whatever. I'm not sure. I'll probably end up telling you guys a little bit about it next week, when if I get a chance to play it or whatnot. But yeah, so let us know if there's anything on there you would play. Sound off in the comments down below. And that is it for this week's news with the We Love Gaming podcast. We appreciate everybody that's stopped in with us, decided to chat with us. Anybody who clicks on this video and watches it, thank you. We appreciate you. While you're here, you should go ahead and click that like button and subscribe. That would help us out greatly. I think we're at like, what is it, like 396 or something like that?
296.
96. I wish it was
Almost crossing that 300 line.
Yeah. So we would love to hit 300 subs. I would love to hit 1,000 subs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so help us out. It goes a long way for sure. And yeah, until next week. I'll catch you guys later. Deuces.
Peace.
See you.
I love you, me.